Have you ever had a problem or an issue and you felt so alone with that situation and like nobody understands what I'm going through at all, and why me, and this is really hard, no one ever went through this before. And then as you start to talk about it, maybe you meet some people and you start to realize that this particular thing is quite common. So you start to feel better just from the fact that you're not alone with the situation. So a while ago, I was working with a nonprofit company, offering expressive arts workshops to whoever they chose. And there was a group of counselors from one of the independent school districts around Houston. So those were the people that between the independent school district and this arts organization, they decided these people should have this art-based workshop. So I went in there, and the expectation was that the workshop was to reduce stress and to foster friendship and cohesiveness, to get them to know each other. So I went in there with the person from the arts organization, and everybody came in quite stressed out. They were busy, and they were not smiling, or they didn't seem very happy that this was gonna happen. And one of the ladies who came in, she let me know that she could think of better things to do to reduce stress and become friends than come in there to do a craft.
Right.
So I got scared with that.
Yeah.
And I just told them, well, I'll tell you a few guidelines, for the workshop. First, there is no wrong way of doing this. Second, if there's something that you don't want to do, don't do it. And there'll be no questions asked by anyone. And third, if you're going to watch and not do things, you refrain from judging the other people doing it. So let's leave the judgment outside the door. So then we started, and then I got them to get up, because they were all tense. So put their purses down and their cell phones and their suitcases. And I had them walk around. It was a group of around 30 people. And I said, well, now walk around in this area and pass each other. And when you pass each other, you pretend that this is a friend that you haven't seen for a year. So you're seeing your friend that you haven't seen in a year. You're running into this friend in the airport. Go. So they're like, embracing each other and laughing and having a great time. They kind of knew each other, but they were not friends before this workshop. So it was a lot of laughter and awkwardness, and this is crazy and funny. So they started to relax after that. Then I had them, okay, now walk around in the same circle and just acknowledge each other. Give each other a glance like that, like that, and pass each other. So, so they did that. And then I said, now walk around in the same way, but don't make eye contact. No matter how close you get, maybe you pass each other, don't make any eye contact. So they did that, and afterwards we talked about it in the group of how that felt for everybody, and they discussed which one was their favorite. Then I had them do another activity. I play this really strong music. It's very energetic with drums. I feel like it's like full of testosterone. That's my interpretation of the music. So I had them draw, free draw on that and then write. They wrote how they felt during that music for like 5 minutes. And then I played this really ethereal, full of fairies music, really soft. And I had them write, and then I had them share in groups of 2. I said, you only share what is comfortable. Don't share anything that you don't want to share. You only share what is comfortable. And then they talk about it in the group. And we did a couple of other activities. And this lady who, at the end, this lady who had come in and was the most vocal of the people, who expressed the feeling of several people in the group that this was going to be a waste of time. She said, well, this was actually a profound experience. That she came in feeling stressed out and alone with her problems. But the majority of people, everything that they shared, she could relate. So she felt not only heard, she felt understood. Mm-hmm. And she became aware of the common ground that they share as a group. So to me, the learning for me in that situation was that even when people come in and they are skeptical, that is not an obstacle for them to benefit from a group experience of that kind. And that what happen is people become aware of what they have in common. And these are things that are hidden because we have so much in common as humans, but it's hidden because it's in our memory, and the only way to share this is through going through an experience together and doing something, making something. The art thing is very easy because you have things that you can make there, and you're not building a building or it's fast and it's easy, and it achieves the purpose of making people aware of what they share in common, having them feel heard and understood in a group. So I was thinking, as you go in a corporate environment, when there is a crisis, they say something happened, something terrible happened that is the fault of that company. Explosion, spill, I don't know. So the first thing that happened, people feel chaos inside the company. They are terrified because there are so many things that are uncertain. What's going to happen to the company, what's going to happen to my job, etc. So the first thing that needs to happen is to create common ground, to bring everyone to the same page. How do we feel about this, to release and be heard of our panic and our terror that this is happening, we didn't want this to happen, and so forth. But what usually happens is that the outside world is coming with questions, and the people inside the company are in a state of panic and uncertainty. So nobody's on the same page. So nobody's in their rational mind yet to say the things that anyone who makes a mistake says. One is, I made a mistake. Second, I accept responsibility. Third, I'll make amends. I'll try to fix and repair the consequences of my mistake. Four, I'm going to try not to make this mistake again. Okay, that's what a person says. That's what a company should say. But that's not what happens, because people are not on the same common ground. So I think that it could be useful for any group to, in a crisis or even not in a crisis, to become aware of their common ground through small, simple experiences with art.